Good morning, everyone. My name is Samir. Yeah, I'm from Group A. In my group, we are 6 people: Lalendra, Susan, Ishur, Nika, and Lover. So today I'm going to talk about the importance safety procedure here at VIT College. This includes WHS representatives, emergency evacuation steps, safety reminders, and more on. It is important to know all of us this information for our safety. Uh, for our safety. So the first one is introduction to VIT College. So VIT is also known for its focus on both academic success and industrial training, which ensure um, which ensure safety, and welcoming environment for all the staffs and students. So the second one is WHS representatives and first aiders. These are the peoples we need to know. We need to know if we need some uh, first aid advice. So here is the person: Jane Smith, WHS officer, location level 2 administration, and here is the contact number. Alex Ten, the first aid officer, location ground floor reception, and here is the contact number. So the third one is emergency evacuation procedure. This one is like in an emergency. We need to know these steps for our safety. So these are the steps we need to know for emergency case. So the first one is stop work and stay calm, and the second one is follow exit signs.
Where are the exit signs?
Um, in the door.
Where? There.
There.
Okay.
Yeah. Follow the exit signs and do not use the lifts. Use stairs even if narrow.
Question: Why not to use lifts?
Because lift is electrical device. When the fire is happened, then so the lift doesn't work. And the fifth one is report to the fire warden.
Or maybe you can just say inform it to the reception. Don't say fire warden.
Okay.
The fire warden can be amongst themselves, but you need to tell them report it to reception. Happy?
Yeah.
Continue.
Also, there are some standard alarm signals.
Okay.
The first one is beep. This means prepare to evacuate, and the second one is whoop whoop. This means evacuate immediately. So the fourth one is safety reminders. Be aware of your surrounding and follow the instructions. Keep everyone safety. So here are some safety reminders. So the first one is know at least 2 exit from each room. The second one is never block hallways or exit.
So are we blocking?
No.
I think we are. There's a chair. Can you remove it? So when you're explaining something, okay, if you're explaining someone about eating healthy, yeah, just for example, and you're a doctor and you're eating a nice big burger with chips and milkshake, you'll be like, okay. So it's just like, when you are in the character, when you're explaining, presenting, what I want you to do is actually, can we clear the pathway, move that chair? You need to play that role, You've got this opportunity, play that role. Say, okay?
Okay.
Don't just read it out. That's what I say. Don't be a chat GPT puppet.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the next one is Susan, who is presenting this presentation. So,
Okay.
Hello.
I hope you open up with joke. Otherwise, I'm not gonna do mark your observation.
Hello everybody. As I As my friend mentioned you about, I'm Susan Gurung, and then I have started my certificate for just now, and then I'm going to say this, this just a short and sweet, fun. It's for me, it's a funny, but you guys, I don't know whatever what you guys think. Suppose you are working in a busy restaurant, so I think all of you guys are work already. Some is already work, some is already starting, or someone might be going to start. So you are working in a busy restaurant, and then something gonna happen. Something happened, and then the boss said, "Hey guys, have a good day," and then I go to home. You know why? You know why? The only thing we got is we can go in house.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna continue my presentations. I'm gonna continue with the presentation, the slides. Guys, I'm going to talk to you about the fire exit, toilet, and then the water foundations. As you can see, the fire exit, it's all over the hallway, and then the room, as you can see, and then the toilet is in the ground floor with the well level with the ladies and gents, and then the water foundation, as you can see, in the common area, like in the first floor, in our kitchen, college kitchen. And secondly, why fire exit awareness matters. It matters to all of us because it saves our life when it is in importance. And then why it should be, it should be visible. We should check every day, regularly. And then the assembly point, the assembly point, it should be outside of the building and should be known by every staff. Because when it's not working, we should be it should be checked regularly. And then the chemical safety. About the chemical safety, it's the safety data sheets. We have to follow the safety data sheet. It should be with the label, and then should be hang everywhere in the chemical store areas with the label. And then we should provide training to all of the training to all of the staffs to use how to use it and how to dispose
Stop
it.
you here. Sorry. You are providing training
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't say to provide training to staff. You say I am providing you this training, and you can act as this is a role play, right? So give some hang sheets, like take some papers and say these are the charts which you need to follow, and this is how you fill them up. Okay? Cool.
And then the next one is chemical hazard categories. And then I have mentioned you the pictures over here. Let's say suppose this one, and then you need to follow it. This for the representatives. It should be flammable, corrosive, toxic, reactive. And then using the safety as safety data sheet chemical, as I mentioned, it should be how to handling the instruction, how to use it, and then whenever you need it, you should have a PPE. Like PPE, it's a personal protective equipment, and then it's SDS should be the folders, like the folder that should be accessible in all the chemicals rooms. That's all of my from sites. I'm gonna hand over to.
So always, whenever you're finishing your presentation, just say, "Hey guys, do you have any question?"
Knock knock. Who's there? Oh, when you. Oh, sorry. Because that's funny. Good morning, everyone. It's me. It's Mr. Khartia. Today I'm gonna present my personal protective equipment PPE. Everyone relate about the PPE.
Don't explain it to me. I'm not your audience.
Okay. Everyone relate in PPE. If I'm working in today, I'm gonna talk about the VIT kitchen, and then VIT kitchen. That's why provide where the necessary example hospitality and kitchen include gloves and apron. This is our VIT kitchen, and then today I'm gonna explain about the VIT kitchen PPE. First thing is protective helmets That's protect our head, and then I wear that glasses protect our eyes, and then ear plugs that protects our ear, and then dust masks and protective boots and safety gloves. Mandatory to wear mandatory to wear the when the station. Why it is important? Because if prevent injury. Why it is important to us? If we are working in kitchen, obviously we need to wear. Obviously we need to wear PPE. First things,
What is it?
PPE, personal protective equipment.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, guys, even you don't just sit there like ask him question. What is PPE? I don't know. Your first time coming, no?
Helmet in the kitchen.
No. Only
Make it interesting for everyone.
no. Just only gonna make demo. No, not in kitchen. Only with in kitchen we wear safety boots because
And we wear chef hats.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
That's not a chef hat.
And WHS legislation definition. WHS legislation is a legal framework that provides the guideline ensure health and safety. Occurs in Australia. Key models WHS Act and Regulation Code of Practice COP National Recommendation. Australia responsibility employer provide the safe system to of worker training provision and PPE employee for the safety producer and the report the hazard. If something is happening here, obviously we're gonna report our manager and supervisor, and then they're gonna notice our and then WHS legislation government by Work Health and Safety Act 2000. This is the main things. This is the two main things in Australia. If you work in kitchen or somewhere, obviously we're gonna follow Australian. Obviously we're gonna follow safety rules, and then safety rules. The Work Health and Safety Act 2011, and then another one's Work Health and Safety Regulation 2011.
What are those?
Sorry?
What are these?
Another
Work
BIT
Health and
complaint.
Safety Act 2011. What is it?
If we're gonna use proper safety boots,
No, but what
PPE,
you just explained me about
Work Health and
Safety
Safety.
Regulations 2011. What is it?
That is the main rules of Australia.
Okay.
Obviously, if we are working in kitchen or somewhere, obviously we're gonna follow the Australian rules.
Okay.
If I work in different section, if they're gonna provide me for right equipment, obviously I'm gonna wear, and then.
Alright, Babet, you can go. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Ishwar, I really wanted to say you have great improvement. Seriously, great improvement. Guys, it's not about, speaking fluently, and it's all about confidence and coming here and talking. Like the way he have improved is commendable. So great job, Ishwar.
You're awarding.
Okay.
Hi guys, I'm Lavir. I'm presenting my part using equipment and how to control the hazard or how to report the incidents. Firstly, I'm explaining you using the equipment safely, training and competence, proper training. So we'll provide the proper training and the certification. Understand manuals, read, understand an equipment operating manual, and the demonstrate competency. And the second one is pre-use inspection. That's the visual check, function test, safety devices, and report issues. If we have any issues, we have to immediately report to our manager or the supervisor. Next is safe operating procedure. Follow procedure, adhere the established safe operating procedure for each piece of equipment. Use the PPE and correct tools, safe poisoning, avoid distraction and emergency procedures.
Alright, yeah, I'll start my presentation by a little story. A blind man walks in a bar, meets his mate, and says, "Long time no see." Anyway, let's move on. Today I'm gonna talk about WHS policies and procedures. I'll start with a little introduction of WHS. Basically, WHS laws are based on national model of legislation and applied in all Commonwealth and all Australian states and territories. These laws are supported by codes of practice that provide practical guidance for everyone to achieve the standards of health and safety required by the law. And these principles are adopted by the various states and territories according to the law. Let's move to policies. So, VIT's policies are based on the set of relevant acts and laws of New South Wales state. Basically, they build on 5 key principles. All these principles quite easy to understand. Basically, that all people inside the VIT, which is staff members, teachers, students, and even visitors, they must follow the safety rules and be proactive and promoting health and safety health and safety for everyone. Also, every single person must be responsible to provide safe and healthy environment for everyone, and also reduce all the possible risks and hazards at the workplace. Let's talk about the procedures at the VITs. So the procedures are they're all related to the policies. So VIT is committed to provide a safe area, safe working environment, learning environment for everyone, for students, for visitors. And to achieve that, we're gonna talk about the first aid information according to the WHS laws of the New South Wales state. So under the WHS Safety Act of 2011, all workplaces, schools, colleges, where we right in at the moment, they must provide first aid equipment that are accessible for everyone at all times, ensure that they have people trained to provide the first aid, and also that each place has first aid procedures, such as so everyone needs to know who to call in case of emergency, which is the phone number is 000, where the first aid kits are located, and also how to report the incidents in the college, which is usually we need to have like the report form at the lobby or student services. So none of us are safe from the accidents that might happen. So we have a couple of examples of the scenarios that might happen with you. I mean, hopefully not gonna happen with you at the college, such as in case of minor cuts and bruises, you need to clean the wound, dress it, and then monitor it in case if it's gonna get bad, you need to go to the hospital.
Question: where will I find a first aid kit?
First aid kits usually located in the first ground floor, near the student services,
Okay.
where where they should have a trained person as well,
Okay.
in case of any emergency.
Okay.
In case of allergic reaction, use EpiPen if prescribed or call the emergency number. In case
What's
of
the emergency number?
it's 000.
Perfect.
In case of fainting or heat stress, because maybe you're too stressed or overwhelmed, whatever, you need to hydrate the person and then monitor how the person feels. In case of if it gets worse, call the 000 again. All right, and also no locked kids. What I'm saying?
No lock kids?
Sorry.
What is this? What presentation is
It's a little bit, I don't know. So all the kids, the first 8 kids must be accessible, and everyone should know where they're located, including students and teachers. So that's it from my part.
You need to ask them if you have any questions.
Any question, guys? All clear? Good, sweet.
Hi everyone, once again welcome to this training session. Basically we're talking about work health safety, especially at the VIT college. Once we are the stakeholders here, we're the students, teachers, the people who work in front desk, or the people especially living in this building. It's basically we're talking about that. We have a lot of content here. I'll not go by everything, but I'll just give few examples here. First thing is equipment use.
Joke.
I will end the session with the joke.
Whatever. Yes.
That was a good joke. I will end the session with the stand-up comedy anyway. So first thing, we need to know how to use the equipment. The very important thing that we need to know is the fire extinguisher, especially in these educational institutes. The most of the time, the risk of fire is very high because this is the IT college as well, so we use high voltage of electricity here. So I will show the video at the end. We'll just skip that. Emergency response. How do we respond to the emergency situation? So there are 2 different alarms you'll hear. So how would you respond to that? One is beep, that is this sound. Please do not be scared. Yeah? Sorry, so that's the prepare to evacuate. That doesn't mean that you have to run away. So that is alerting you to be ready to evacuate the building. There is some emergency, that can be anything, a fire, a bomb threat, or whatever that is. So that can be the case. And next is whoop, whoop sound. So that is, if you hear that sound, you have to escape from the building. So here, we have to understand very important thing, that is safety first. That is your safety first, and you are responsible for that. Okay, so for example, you see your friends injured somewhere, right? So you definitely want to help them. So you try to help them, but at the same time, if you see the risk of, it's really danger, you have to take care of yourself first. That is the rule of work health safety, a very general rule of the work health safety. This is the diagram of our building, 5 different floors, levels. You can see, for example, these colors are mentioned here. For example, yellow is the ground floor south. This is the basic, what do we call that? The layout of this building. And in case of fire, you have to directly call to 000. That's mentioned on the slide as well. Next is risk management. So, for example, sometime our ma'am asked us to get the chairs from the other class, right? So we're just dragging them backward. That is very risky. We never do that. First thing, we have to push it. We never pull the object. Wherever you go to work, you have the trolleys or whatever, you always have to push. You never have to pull it. Now you push it, and now that is the hazard, right? So this is the hazard leads towards the risk. If you expose to the hazard, then they will, they will lead towards the risk. So especially trips, falls, slippery floors. If there are, for example, it's raining, your shoes are wet, you walk in towards inside the college, the floor got wet. Now it's very high chance of getting slipped away, right? So there should be a signage of the slippery, and then also you have to be very careful. There are some trips. For example, if you go to this level 2,
Shut the door.
if you go to the level 2, you'll see the computer lab. And then if you go to inside that room, there are lots of wires. And then you might trip on those wires. So you have to be careful. So there are lots of potential hazard. The one I just gave the example, that is the physical hazard. If you remember, when you come to the VIT college, they have said that they will take care of your mental health as well. So they will provide you the counselation for the mental health. So that is the psychological hazard. If you're not feeling well, or if you want to share something to your friend, just be free. You know, I think there are a couple of friendly people here in this room, and also anyone, not only your friends, you can talk to the teachers or you can talk to the reception. If you really need the counselation, they also provide the mental health counselation. That is very important. Electrical hazard, as I have mentioned, the high voltage of electricity goes through this building. And also environmental hazard, they are the, for example, now the weather is changing, right? So we can get sick from, for example, some flu. So those could be the hazard. So you just have to be careful with that. Take the precautions for that. And to control these hazards, or to control all the risks, all we need to do is to apply the precautions. As I have just mentioned, don't walk backward. Or whenever, if you are standing in your 2 feet for a very long time, just try to bend one knee for a few seconds and try to stand in 1 feet. That helps to circulate the blood in your body. So that is the work health safety legislation that my colleague just present before that. So these are few very minor things. For example, if you're standing for 8 hours, right? So you can't stand tall for the 8 hours. You feel very bad. In the last class, Rasika ma'am has also mentioned we can't stay here for a long period of time, because that is because of the ergonomic hazards. If you have the same position, if you're sitting in the same position for a long time, you get X, right? So that's why you have to change the position. Exercise is important. That's what we said. Next is fire, and yeah, the ergonomic strain. That is just basically about the position, postures.
Really great
Yeah, thank you.
presentation.
And also at the end, I just would like to show this video, sorry, how to use the fire extinguisher. I'm sorry I'm running out of the time, but
No, that's okay, that's okay.
this is the very important thing. We do this at the workplace, but if some of you have missed it, it's important to know how to open and use
Fire
that.
extinguisher, use the 4-step pass technique. Hold the pin at the top of the extinguisher. Aim the nozzle of the extinguisher at the base of the fire. Squeeze the handle to discharge the extinguishing agent. Finally, sweep the nozzle back and forth at the base of the fire from side to side. Always remember, having a fire extinguisher and knowing how to use it